Hello again. For this video, I thought we would look at Holy Week in Matthew's Gospel, beginning in chapter 21, with Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. He rides on an animal, fulfilling the prophecy from Isaiah, a king riding on a colt. As the crowd proclaims him, Hosanna to the Son of David, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest heaven. From there, Jesus moves to the temple, driving out the money changers, then healing the blind and the sick. But he's clearly in conflict with the temple authorities, who, not surprisingly, are indignant. Jesus then offers a series of parables in Jerusalem. Two brothers are given tasks by their father. One says no, but then does the task. The other says yes, but then doesn't do it. Then another parable about wicked tenants who refuse to render to the master what is his due. Then a parable about the marriage feast to which many are invited, but few respond to the invitation, so that others are invited from the highways and the byways. These parables have something in common. Jesus is calling everyone to conversion, but a lot of people are not heeding the call. It fits well into the final week of his public ministry. There are other questions put to Jesus about the nature of the resurrection, about the greatest commandment, about how the Son of David can be Messiah. We then have a series of 7 woes. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. And even worse, Jesus announces the coming destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, coupled with tribulations for the world and for the new Christian community, the church. In the face of all this, Jesus offers a series of parables on the need for watchfulness, something I referred to in our previous video about the 5 teachings of Jesus. You do not know the day your Lord is coming. There's the parable of the faithful servant, the parable of the wise and foolish virgins, the parable of the talents, and the parable of the last judgment. As the king says, as Jesus says, as often as you did these things to the least of my brothers and sisters, you did them to me. Jesus began his public teaching with a beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. He concludes his public teaching with the promise of the kingdom for those who care for the poor. And so we move into the Passion narrative. It begins in Bethany, outside of Jerusalem, where an anonymous woman in the Gospel of Matthew anoints the head of Jesus, as he says, in preparation for his burial. At the same time, Judas goes to the authorities and receives his 30 pieces of silver. Then, the Passover meal, where Jesus announces that one of his disciples will betray him. Judas speaks up, "Is it I, Master?" "It is you who said it." Jesus gives us the Eucharist with bread blessed and broken. "This is my body." And then his words over a cup of wine, "This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." Our Catholic Mass has its origin in that meal in the upper room on the night before he died. The Passion continues with Jesus' prayer in the garden while his exhausted disciples sleep. Then the moment of betrayal by Judas with a kiss. What follows is Jesus' trial before the Sanhedrin, where he remains silent till the high priest says, "I put you under oath before the living God. Tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God." Remember, those are the titles Peter proclaimed at Caesarea Philippi. Jesus replies, "You have said so, but I tell you, from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the power and coming on the clouds of heaven." Jesus is quoting the prophet Daniel. He is the Son of Man who will come in glory as judge. Meanwhile, Peter is outside, and 3 times he's asked if he is one of Jesus' followers, for even his Galilean accent has given him away. He swears that he is not. And the rooster crows, and Peter in shame weeps. Only Matthew recounts how Judas regrets his betrayal of innocent blood throwing the money back on the floor of the temple, and taking his own life by hanging. Jesus is sent to be tried by Pontius Pilate, the Roman procurator. Only Matthew recounts how Pilate's wife sent a message to him to have nothing to do with this Jesus because of a dream she had. Remember how important dreams were in the first chapters of Matthew's Gospel. Matthew highlights that Pilate keeps referring to Jesus as the Christ. It's a kind of irony because we do know that he is the Christ, the Messiah. Only in Matthew does Pilate call for water and washes his hands before the crowd. I am innocent of this man's blood. In the crucifixion, as elsewhere, Matthew is careful to point out how Jesus' suffering fulfills Old Testament prophecy, including his final words from Psalm 22, my God, why have you abandoned me? And in death, the curtain of the temple is torn, the earth quakes, tombs are opened, the holy ones of old rise from the dead, and the centurion at Calvary proclaims that this was the Son of God. 10 times in Matthew's Gospel, we have this title for Jesus, beginning with Satan asking Jesus in the desert, if you are the Son of God, do this. With Satan, it was a test. With the centurion, as with Peter, it's a profession of faith. The women observed Jesus' final moments from afar. The male disciples have run away in fear. In the evening, Joseph of Arimathea comes and with Pilate's permission buries Jesus in his own tomb, with the women observing the place. The next day, Pilate orders a guard, as the chief priests remembered Jesus' prediction about him rising on the third day. There is great irony in Pilate's words, make the tomb as secure as you can. And so we wait for the resurrection, which we will talk about in the next video. Thank you.